All right, guys, what's up? This is Why My Main is Sick. Time for a link today, and I've got here Blue and Hero of Time. Now, quick, let's run down some introductions. Blue, who are you?
Yes.
Like,
Like name and tag and all
yeah,
that?
yeah, name, tag,
Right.
like, how are people going to find you?
So, name's Kevin. My tag is Blue. I'm coming out from Arizona. My channel I usually appear on is azprojectmelee.
Mhm.
You can usually find me at tournaments now because school's over. So I'm be going all over the United States for the summer just to play video games, I guess, because that's responsible, right?
I mean, if you're good at it, I'm sure, yeah.
Right. I mean, I'd be happy with 7th place, but I don't have high standards, so it's fine. Does that cover all the bases or anything else?
I guess one last question is, how did you start playing Link?
Okay, so at my local community college, there's a game room, and people play Smash there.
Mhm.
So some kid brought his Wii one day. He's like, "Hey guys, I got this game, and lots of characters are good." It's like, "Okay, let me see." I really like Legend of Zelda, so I was like, "Hey, is Link good?" He's like, "I don't know, never played him." So I just picked Link on the character select screen, and I really liked how he played. So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna be a Link main when I grow up." And here I am.
You're
Wait,
gonna be a
what-
Link main when you grow up.
Wait, when
Yeah.
you grow up, how long ago was this?
It was 2015. It's not very long at all. But I was still 17, so I
Okay,
could still
so
make the joke of, "Hey, I'm
you
not an
weren't
adult."
officially an adult, so that works. Hero of Time, same question. Name, tag, where are people going to find you, that kind of stuff.
So my name's Camilo. Tag is Hero of Time. I play for South Florida, so it's kind of like a sub-region of Florida. So even though a lot of people think that Mr. Ellis and me play all the time, we actually really don't. I started by kind of the same sort of story. I liked video games. There was a game room. I started with Brawl. I was really bad at it, but then PM came out. At least to me, because I think it was like version 3.0 when I started.
Mhm.
I just played all the characters I could. I really honestly started with like Charizard and Snake, funny enough, but Link just made sense to me, and it's like my favorite video game character, so that's what I kind of fell into.
So the secret to being a top Link main is to hang out in your school's game room?
Yeah, it kind of works out that way. 'Cause I just made a lot of friends there because I didn't realize that there was like a strong video game scene, and even less so a Smash scene. So I started from playing with a few friends to being like the top of the school, and then to just like being a net play warrior. 'Cause I guess that's my main like highlight story, just because I came out of nowhere playing net play to like improving really fast,
Mhm.
and then I started beating top players in my region.
Well, I'm finally getting on my net playground, so hopefully I can follow you with that one. So I guess you guys both covered why you started playing Link. Like, what? That's how you started. What kept you there?
Up air, number one, right?
Mhm.
I also like, when I get a grab, I like being rewarded for that. So you get a grab and you can almost get a punish on almost anybody. Floaties, fast followers don't matter. If you grab someone, it's gonna hurt. So that feeling of satisfaction that I get from playing the character is why I stay. You come for the video game, you stay because it's cool, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's the basic gist of why I continue to play Link, even though he's the bottom 11 character according to this most recent tier list.
Not quite bottom 10. You can't meme that hard yet.
Yeah, I take solace in that. Not bottom 10 yet. 11.
Okay.
And I guess for me, when I started learning the game, I guess I taught myself the basics of the game from like scratch, and I realized that this character, for the most part, he doesn't have really high strengths, nor does he have really low weaknesses. So it kind of made sense to like learn this character because of that. All the neutral interactions, how you approach the game, how you recover. He has a lot of options for everything, but they can get beat out. But it still gives you just so many options that it allowed me to learn the game really easily, because it showed me mistakes, and it also showed me how to win in a very clear way. Like if you throw a boomerang out and you're really close to someone, you're obviously gonna get punished for it. So it taught me like spacing. It was very clear that I learned that from that.
Okay.
And then if you just I don't know, practice how to do little link things here and there. It shows you how to play other characters very very well too. Just because when I played Link for a really long time, I just never switched off of it, and then finally I realized, all right, I'm at the top level of like Link play. Let me pick other characters. I was just naturally really really good at those other characters, and so I guess that's what makes sense for me.
Yeah, definitely. Let's actually quick run over those accolades. I'm trying to remember. I think just one of you, or maybe both, are on the top 50. But also,
we're both in the top 50.
Okay, you are both. That's what I thought.
Yep.
Where are you? Like, what are some of your big wins?
I'm sitting below Camilo,
Okay.
which I contest that, but that's a conversation for another day. I'm sitting at number 48,
Okay.
so we're barely in there, but my name is there, so I can go, hey mom, look, top 50, babe. And notable wins, I got wins on Luck, from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
At Low Tier City 4, I was placed in 9th place, which isn't nothing to write home about, in my opinion, but it's there, right?
Mm-hmm. And low-tier cities are known to be stacked, so...
Yeah. Second biggest tournament of 2016, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I got 9th place there, so... when you put it that way, I don't feel too bad about that anymore.
I'm here to help.
Yeah, and my first top 8 at a quote-unquote big tournament was Salty Juan's 3, but that's I call that a regional.
Mm-hmm.
I got 7th place. I lost to Thunders and Jose V, so I'm not mad about that placing either. I don't think I have any too terribly noticeable wins, but at the same time, I don't have terrible losses either. So I kind of hold on to my consistency like that.
Mm-hmm. Being consistent is like key in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Hero of Time, same thing.
For me.
I guess as for me, I had a strong start, like right off the bat. My first tournament was Aftershock, and I honestly don't remember how many years ago that was at this point. But at that tournament, I beat people like Pink Fresh, Gatsu, Luck, and Jason Waterfalls, and a lot of people that were already established in the community, I want to say. But after that, every single...
Did you say your
Sorry?
first tournament?
Yeah, my first national tournment was Aftershock.
Okay, first national.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say, holy crap.
That would have been impressive if it was my first tournament for sure. But no, everyone starts somewhere. Everyone starts losing.
Mm-hmm.
My first few tournaments, I lost to the top players for the most part.
Yep.
But when I showed up, I beat like all the middle level players that were already established. So they were surprised at that.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came to other nationals, I always did really well. I think I've had a lot of 5th place showings that were a little disappointing for me. But it seems like when I push myself to win, I actually do worse, and I guess that's what a lot of people saw in my games against Axe, both times where it was like every single time it was best of 5, and it went down to game 5, and then I just like the last game was it just got like panicky for me, and it was a blunder, but those games were really important to me. I have that win against Music King where he went Mario game 2. Not really sure why. And then I think that's it for the most part.
Awesome. Well, that's super sick for both of you. So we've gone down like who you are, why people should know you, and now we're gonna get really into the meat of this. Is they know that they should know you, they know they should trust you. Let's go into Link. What is your favorite thing to do with Link? Like, I mention this every time. Like, for some people, it's like I play Ices. It's hitting the perfect grab combo. Yeah, I know. For like a Marth, it might be like the perfect like juggle into dunk or like setting up the tipper F smash. What is it for Link?
All right, so going off grab combos, the point you brought up.
Mm-hmm.
So let's think first. What characters do we consider jank? Right, Game & Watch, Sonic, Squirtle, just to name a few.
Okay.
And Link's got nasty down throw chain grabs on all 3 of those characters. So that keeps me going. That's what I enjoy most. Like, oh, you're gonna play a degenerate character? I'm gonna chain grab him, 0 to death. Let's go.
So revenge is what keeps you going.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Okay.
Simple pleasures. Simple pleasures.
I guess as for me, I'm gonna go ahead and say the exact opposite. Just because I think fighting, fire with fire, fighting degeneracy with the degeneracy is just terrible. It's just like the worst thing you can do. I think we all remember and saw how that works during Big Belk when Flip, even though he's a really good player, and I've realized that he exploited the brokenness of Snake to just drag games along, just in a really terrible and kind of unwatchable fashion. So the whole fact that you can chain grab certain characters and they just can't do anything about it just seems really, really broken to me, and that's why I don't really go with that.
Do you not use the chain grab then?
I've used it in the past, but I learned and realized that this chain grab can be used on, I think, 75 to 90% of the cast, and it's just it has a range, but that range is basically free and a little unfair. So I stopped using the chain grab, actually.
Interesting. Okay, so you said that you don't like it. Then what do you do? What is your favorite thing with Link?
I think my favorite thing is the fact that I can make it when I play well. I can make it so that some people just can't touch me. If I hit boomerangs correctly and I get one hit and I don't get anything else after that, I know I can set up something else that they'll just fall right into a setup or a trap. Where I know, hey, they're gonna think I'm gonna do something, and then I'm just gonna grab them straight out. I'm gonna get a few more hits, and I'll just keep on playing the neutral just like that, so that I'll just outright win. And once they go off stage, it's really easy for Link to get a really hard punish.
Okay.
Just because he has really fluid ledge movement, so I actually like being on the ledge a lot, just because I know I'm gonna get a free hit no matter what. I'm really good at covering the ledge.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I guess speaking of those, like you said, 70% of the cast you have a giant chain grab against.
Yeah.
What would you say is maybe not Link's matchup spread, but who are the characters that any Link should want to go up against, and who are the characters that you want to avoid? Like, what are the worst and best matchups?
So I've theory crafted this a little bit, and I realized that the characters that tend to give you more trouble are the ones who can run faster than my boomerang. Because that's my zoning tool, and if they can outrun that, then I just kind of like, okay, I got to fight you, hand to hand. My frame data sucks, so there's not much I can do about that. But I typically do very well against floaties and slower characters.
Okay.
And I do worse against faster characters and fast fallers. So, Fox, Falcon especially.
And you don't think it's because they're of their weight, but you think it's because they can outspeed your projectiles.
Oh yeah, they can outdo me in neutral so easily, and sure, I punish them really hard, but they punish me really hard too. So we match each other in punish, but they outdo me in neutral. So it's an uphill battle,
Yeah, definitely.
It's not unwinnable. It's just like noticeably harder than the floaties.
I think I'm gonna have to agree here too. Link does have an easier time with floatier characters and characters that aren't that fast, but at the same time, I grew in a region that just loves Spacies and loves Falcon, just because Florida for the most part is just a heavy melee region. Say. So I realized that if you get one hard grab or you get one knockdown on these characters, if you just follow a certain flowchart, there's no way that they're going to escape the punish. And once you get them off stage, it's kind of easy to figure out. So he does have a really hard time just because of their speed. But if you use boomerangs a little less and you just make sure you get that one knockdown, it becomes a little bit of an easier game. The boomerang shouldn't be that important when it comes to Spacies or Sonic or Falcon. It can set up a lot, but it's just very, very risky. So he does have an easier time if you just go with your basic aerials and bait out certain things.
Yeah, definitely awesome. The rest of it, we are going to go over as we watch some of the sets that you guys have sent me.
Right.
And so things to keep in mind. clearly I'm not a Link player, so I'm not going to be as aware of like, oh, this was a super sick mind game, or like, I did a really good job baiting him with this. I guess I have some experience with Toon Link, so I can get some of the like projectile setups. But if I miss one of these as we go through, or like you're like, okay, upcoming is like, this is the reason I sent you this, let me know. We'll stop it. We'll look over it, and we'll just kind of geek out about why this is super cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so yeah, mix-ups, mind games, everything like that. The first set we're going to take a look at is one you sent in, Hero of Time, against Hyperflame. All right, so let's get this started.
That's not a good start, though.
It was the end of hand warmers. We're okay.
Okay.
So here's a little context for this set. I was playing Hyperflame in Winners Finals, and while we were waiting for Winners Finals, we were playing a ton of friendlies. He actually beat me in every single one of these friendlies. I did not win anything. But then I just cooled down. I realized, hey, thanks to Umbreon, I want to say, I realized, hey, this is like a Falco player, basically. Because Lucas kind of works the same way. His freeze tool is not really as strong as Falco, but it works in the same way. His shield pressure is not as great as Falco either, and you can kind of treat it that way, so you can jump out a little bit more. And it makes the matchup a lot easier if you think about it like that. Think about it like a Falco player, and you just combo him, and it just works out. Nice. So I use a lot of nairs to just counteract the freeze approach, just because it's not a laser. It doesn't actually stop you, and you can just hit right through it. So I'm sorry if I interrupted. We can go through the clip.
No. I was gonna completely wait for that. I just stopped it because you had a really slick bomb setup here.
Okay.
You do the Zair into bomb, but then you cover his approach going over that. So here, you do that, and then because you knew he had to go low.
He does like to go for ledge attacks a lot, which I just realized it made it really easy to just space around it. Just give him a lot of space on the ledge, and he can't really reach me as easily, at least not with invincibility. So I just tried to space out of that. You'll see that I'm like at least 3 or 4 character lengths away from the ledge whenever he does have the ledge. So that's very important as well.
Is that the general spacing Link is looking for anyways?
Some characters don't have that fluid movement from the ledge. Link does have that movement, so he can't actually reach you, even if you space away from the ledge. But see, he always goes about 3 or 4 character lengths inside when he dashes or tries to go for any attack. So I just space around it, and I know his invincibility is run out by that point. So that's very important.
Okay.
I always try to also hover whenever he shows me his shield. I try to hover a little bit just to make sure that I place snares like right above it, and I'm always usually safe.
And that's
always
against
usually
Hyperflame or just Lucas? Or
against
both,
a lot of characters, you can space snares in a way that you just land. I want to say right above them and just go behind them, just like that. You see how it's still shield poking him? It's very important to scare them into shield and then try to find your way to shield poke them with nairs.
Yeah, definitely. And so that's a big part of your game plan. If you're not throwing the projectiles at him, you're coming in and trying to get the shield pokes, and you're trying to get him bait out his out of shield options.
Exactly.
Okay.
It just worked out very well. There are very few moments where he realized the shield pressure wasn't true, and he was able to hop out. But at the same time, I think his fastest out of shield option might be nair, and it just doesn't net him too much. So I wasn't too scared of giving him one nair.
Interesting. No, that makes a lot of sense.
He does combo me pretty hard sometimes. It's just really, really unfair. Like, I just felt like it was unfair. It was broken. I was just going everywhere, and I didn't understand like where I was supposed to DI sometimes. But luckily, I got out of some combos here and there.
I mean, he's one of those characters, though. He has that, like you said, Falco archetype of...
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to combo you to the high heavens, but he's also a glass cannon himself.
Yeah, it was kind of nice to kill him kind of early. So yeah, I realized, just as I said from the start, that some of his shield pressure just isn't true. but you still don't want to throw out random up Bs. So it's important to time them correctly, and that's why I get them with some critical ones, like right before the match ended.
Yep, no, definitely. I was actually going to go back to show that, but then also, like you said, once a character's off stage, you usually have a pretty good presence in order to just keep them away.
Right, right. I tried to cover with boomerang, with arrows a lot, just because I knew I wasn't fast enough to reach the ledge. Otherwise, I do have other options to cover it, but it just seemed to work sometimes, just because he did go for tether a lot, and I guess that's Lucas's best option. So the arrow spacing just covered well, or just didn't do anything. But I already had a set plan for covering his ledge dashes, which we're going to come out of it.
Okay, sick. Cool.
He didn't mix it up too much, because he always just, go for ledge dashes, but he'll also tether cancel or something. And that would, give him, it would try to bait out an option for me, but I would just...
Yeah, definitely. I know a lot of that is like Lucas specific, or even better, Hyperflame specific. What?
Yeah, a little bit.
What are you looking for in general as Link? Like, what is your typical game plan? Say you've never heard of this person before. What's your typical thought process?
I think what I would kind of look for is how they react to nair spacing. Just because there's a lot of ways to actually throw out a nair. Some people just see it as one move, but it's very important that you think about the game as to if you fade back, if you fade in, if you land behind them, if you fast fall it from a platform, or if you fast fall it all together. There's different types of nair which make the move completely different from the the other type.
Okay.
And that's very important as to how you space it out and how you use it. It's kind of it's very flowcharty in the way of thinking about it.
And
because that nair that just happened, it outspaces his grab ever so slightly, but it was very important as to how I placed it. If I would have landed a little bit closer, I would have gotten grabbed like that.
And so you think about that, like, not only your punish game, but your presence on stage as being a flowchart of, all right, so he reacted in this way because he did this. I can now move here. I can threaten him from this area.
Yeah, because sometimes if I know they're gonna react a certain way, depending on if they punish me or not with something, I can just use the nair in a different way. That'll make them go for the same punish, and I get something even better after that. So you can kind of condition how they react to certain spacings on nair. It obviously works for other aerials, but nair is Link's most versatile aerial, so that's why it's used a lot more.
Awesome. And I guess the next question for both of you, what if someone's like thinking like, oh, I kind of want to pick up Link. I'm going to watch this video, see what the two players are saying about him. What do you want to tell them? Like what? Yeah, go for it.
I think Kevin can go first on this one for sure.
You're making me go first because you can't think of an answer.
No, it'll take a while.
Okay. So, in stark contrast to Camilo, I don't try to play around flowcharts. Not that it's a bad strategy. I just don't see the game that way, right? I see a lot of unique and single interactions. I don't really create a chart out of them. I kind of just say, okay, so this happened, and I got punished for it. What could I have done instead? That's kind of how I break down my game. So, as a result, when I play, I almost always lose the first game because I'm just experimenting here, right? I'm just saying, okay, if I do this, what do they do, right? I like to treat the boomerang as sort of a mini Falco laser, where if you throw it out, don't do anything, just throw it out and see what happens, right? See how they react. Do they shield it? Do they try to, power shield it? Do they wave dash back and, avoid it completely, or what do they do? So to address the actual question, what do you, the question of, like what should your mindset be when approaching picking up Link? There's a lot of ways you can play him, and none of them are particularly wrong. And just like any other character, I always recommend playing in friendlies first. Don't start in tournament. That's the quickest way to go 0-2. And just see if you like him. And you need to be able to adjust to getting punished because he's at one of those weights where any character can punish him. He's not quite a fast faller, but he's not quite a floaty, right? My friend Umbreon addressed him as a human weight. He's up there with Ganon, Sheik, and Lucario.
I was about to say, if I'm correct, he's really similar to Sheik in that combo weight.
So anyone can kill him. It's just something you got to live with, right? Like, oh, I messed up and I'm gonna die. Oh well. And it's kind of discouraging for some people, but you know, you can kill people too, right? So just chin up, right? Keep going.
I just wanted to point out, if we could go back
Yeah, definitely.
to the last game, the last stock, that just is played very, very textbook and very, very well.
Okay.
So yeah, it should be. No, it was
A
his
little
last
bit
stock.
further. Well, that was. Nope. We're still. This is why.
Yeah.
This is why we've got this going on.
Yep.
Almost.
A little bit more.
There we go.
There you go. So his last stock, he has me at 118, and he can't close it out. So this is where it's kind of played pretty nice. He does get a few hits. I DI that correctly. I go on stage. I don't do anything because I want to be safe. So I just use the boomerang right there. If we can go back a second.
You use the return hit of boomerang, actually.
Exactly. It's a very neat setup. Try to space out. Once he rolls, I use the second he rolls, I use the boomerang because I know he's not gonna be able to hit me with anything.
I'm actually
and then I
gonna
roll
put that part in
backwards.
slow motion.
Yeah.
Because you jump right above him so that it won't clip him on the way there.
Well, let's see that.
Yeah.
So he goes back. He misses the spacing. He rolls, so I jump and I boomerang, and then I realize he's gonna jump out, and I set that up so that it hits him on the return trip, and that's the perfect way to get a good setup out of that. He's not gonna DI it correctly because he doesn't understand what the hit's gonna really net, but it just gives me a free grab, and then I get that whole sort of link out of that. I try to space around his attacks, and then I go in with one thing. I clearly messed that up because that was a free dare, but it just sets up for everything else.
All right, so let's go back into the other game. I think we were like.
And as for the question of why they should play this character, I honestly think that if it fits your playstyle, then that is what you should do. And I guess that's the real answer. Just because once I realized everything that I could do with the character, I just enjoyed it a lot and I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything made sense to me. I knew what my options were, and if I realized that I messed something up, it was on me, and it wasn't like I just did something that the character is not supposed to do. So
Definitely.
it just kind of feels like you're using your person, like your body, like you're the person that's playing the character, right?
And I think a lot of people get caught up in, especially currently, in like tier lists and like this character's more viable and this one's not. But you guys said in the current listings, people placed Link at 11th from the bottom, and you both have made top 8 at majors. So clearly something's still going well.
I think my thought process with that is that people put too much importance on the tier list,
Mm-hmm.
and
Wait, how did you
there's
get
a
that?
there's a lot of space for a player to just outplay someone else. Link is not that bad. He's actually better than a lot of people think. Just because
I'm going to go back really quick. That was a super clean edge guard. It was a lot of like you kept hitting him off, hitting him back.
at that moment, I believe I realized that he was slowing down his recovery. So when I throw him off stage, I know he's gonna wait and then jump. I clip him with the nair, and then I just ledge dash and get the hit. And you just rinse and repeat after that.
Exactly. Anyways, back to what you were saying, like why you should play Link.
Well, it's more so the fact that if you, I'm not going to advocate for it, but if you want to play a little bit degenerate, you'll realize that Link is very, very high on the tier list just because his chain grab is so strong and no one's been able to use it correctly. And I've realized that it's not as hard as some people put it out to be. If you're kind of okay at reaction tech chasing, it's like, I want to say 50 times easier than that. Because all you have to do is follow their DI, and that was a really clean combo as well.
Yeah.
That's what kind of finishes it off. But if you follow their DI, they don't have too much leeway as to where they go. They either go a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and then if they stay kind of in the middle, you can still just grab them. So it's just very, very easy to do, and it nets you so much percent that if people use that every single time they had the window for a punish, they would be beating a lot of people. Like I think he'd go up on the tier list by a lot. I'm not sure if he'd be top 5, but he might actually be close to that just if people chain grabbed.
That's crazy. Now, I've seen the list of the chain grab.
Secret list.
I think I saw it. I think Thor posted it somewhere. Shoutouts to Thor. That list is terrifying when you actually look at it, of just like each character and what percents they can do everything, or what each character and what percents Link can chain grab them to.
It's so much percent on some characters, and even if it's not, if the only way they can escape it is to kind of DI off stage, which is how you escape most chain grabs, right? But once you get that set up, then you easily get an up B, and the up B also sends you so far away that it's either a rinse and repeat edge guard, or you get another grab, which can lead to a kill.
Oh yeah,
So
and Link wants you
very
off stage.
strong. Yeah, once you're off stage, Link does a lot to you.
I mean, everybody wants their opponent off stage, but characters with multiple projectiles like Link just die. They love it so much. All right, next game, and we're gonna keep talking while it's going on, is Blue's game. Blue versus Meds, who I feel like this is the second time Meds has been in this show, but I think last time it was Cloudburst on the Squirtle episode. So shout-outs to him for continuing to make these as
Shout-outs to him, man. He's a space animal. What do you expect? I would like to.
Not happy about it being on the other side though, where he's losing. I'm sure that those are the matches, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not gonna show one where I lose. Like, what is that gonna do?
I would honestly pick one where I lost, just because it shows how close of a match it is.
You did send me one where you lost.
Yeah, I did. I put my match against Lunchables, which should come up later.
Yep. I think it's the last. Yeah, it's the last one we'll be going over.
Am I allowed to add a clip to the queue? Because I do have one I wanted to show, but that I lost in. So I was like, do I show it?
For both the Lunchables and that one, if we have time at the end, yeah, definitely send it along.
Right, so I'd like to go and address Camilo's comments on the chain grabs once more. I'm not going to deny they are degenerate, right? But I think he... So I was rooming with Umbreon at Low Tier City 4, and we were discussing Camilo briefly, because we were playing friendlies. So naturally, I compared myself to my cohort. I was like, okay, so how do I do compared to Camilo? And he addressed our different strengths and weaknesses. But one thing he did mention about Camilo that sticks out in my mind is his ability to act out very quickly out of his moves. For example, if you ever watch him do like down throw up B, you know, it's bread and butter. Everything does it. But Camilo seems to do it a lot faster than most other Links, myself included, right? He just he recognizes that when the frames of end lag are over, much better than, you know, most people, myself included. And I think it's that recognition that lets him say, you know, oh, chain grabs are easy. But I'm over here, I fail the chain grab almost every time, so it's like, I don't know about that, man. It seems kind of hard.
You might actually have a point on that. I might actually agree with you, just because I think what's made me really good about the out of shield presence and the shield stun presence is that I've actually practiced that a lot. Not practice it like in a sort of CPU sort of thing, but practice it against people, where I've learned how the sound of a power shield lets me act in a certain a certain space of time, as well as, you know, what the hit stun or shield stun of certain moves allow me to do. Like I've practiced the sort of flow chart of it, and it's ingrained in me, sort of muscle memory that maybe some people don't actually have.
I don't.
It's also important to note that when I play Melee, which I feel like I've gotten pretty good at it as well, I tap jump a lot, which means I also use out of shield shines with my tap jump, which means you need to be really, really fast in order to shine out of shield, as well as just if you want to get the best and proper shine out of shield, you need to also recognize once again the shield stun. So I've had a lot of practice doing that, which means maybe my reactions are really good, or maybe it's just something that people just need to focus on. I think it's not something that comes to mind immediately, where people are like, okay, I got to realize how much shield stun this move does and how much shield stun this move does, and if I can act out. But if you do take the time to sit down and realize, okay, I can act out of this in this amount of time, if you just practice it, then it makes your reactions a whole lot faster. But once again, I'm gonna say, chain grabbing is really easy, and I think I can teach people how to do it. I think I can teach
with
people how to
pleasure.
do
I'll
it
sit down with you at Bigger
successfully.
Balk.
I think I can teach people how to do it successfully, and they'll realize it is very, very easy to do.
All right, something I want to point out is that both of you guys said that one of the worst matchups in the game for Link is Fox because of his speed, and then you both sent me matches of Fox. So
Right.
it must be at least a fun one, even if it's frustrating at times.
It is super fun.
And so the way I try to approach a Fox matchup is I don't think I have the reaction speed to really keep up, and even if I did, I don't think my character has the frame data combined with the still reaction speeds to react to everything Fox is doing. So you'll see what I do a lot in neutral is I just throw out random up tilts, random grabs, because I'm betting. I'm saying, okay, I think your character is going to be here.
Yep.
So I'm going to throw a hitbox out here, and then I'm going to hold down. I'm going to crouch cancel whatever you try to do, so it doesn't hurt too bad when you punish me. That's my usual game plan for fighting faster characters.
I want to point out you surviving the sub smash here. I know it's something that happens a lot if you're holding a bomb.
Yeah,
But it's still
pretty funny.
nice.
Yeah, dude. You play Toon Link. You have experience with Toon Link, so you know how it
Yep.
feels.
I used to main
So-
Toon Link, and I'm trying to bring him back right now.
Right. So I think Sosa's the one who's mentioned this about me before, where Blue's only mix-up is forward smash or grab, and even though it's kind of oversimplification, he does have a point. I'm a big fan of throwing out F smashes.
Forward tilt. That was
what's
a good
up?
anti-air. That was a good anti-air with the forward tilt. Some
Oh.
people don't realize it, but for the most part, it's an edgeguard tool with Link. But
Oh,
if
dude, yeah.
someone's coming down on you, the forward tilt will just cover your head very, very nicely, and that's how you got him with the previous stock.
Not only that, but forward tilt it actually hits below the edge a little bit for like a frame, I think.
Yeah, that's why for the most part it's an edgeguard tool. But you
So
can
good.
use it as an anti-air very, very nicely too, because it kind of sends in an odd angle, so you get a lot out of it honestly when you hit it. But it's just so slow though. You want to use it at the precise moments that you need to use it, and nothing else,
Yeah.
because it's really not useful.
I love
It's great for edge guarding though, yeah.
the terrible angles that you're sending meds at. Like, when he's trying to get back to the stage, you're forcing him to recover at these super... What the heck just happened?
He got greedy. He could have just held ledge.
Yeah.
Yep. I was
That's
going to
something
say,
that's
you're
real.
forcing him usually to recover at these super... Oh, okay, I see what happens. You're forcing him to recover at these, like, odd angles, and he's either messing it up or you're able to cover him coming down. And I feel like that's one of the things that Link excels at.
Yeah. He's Camilo briefly brushed up on this, but I can expand a little more. Link is really trap based, if you will, where oh shit, that was bad wording. Where he sets up traps, right?
Yeah.
In the neutral.
No, I think trap-based is a fine way to say that. It's different traps than, say, like, Snake, but
Sure.
it's still traps.
Right. Like a player in my region, he'll get mad at me because he goes, "Why the hell are you throwing out up tilts in neutral? You just threw out like 4 up tilts." And I look and I go, "Because I'm betting you're gonna run into them." And then a couple minutes later he does, and I was like, "What did I tell you? Come on."
So I'm gonna go ahead and say that's probably not the best way to play.
No, it's not. It's just for fun. But
But what you want to do with Link for the most part, as Kevin's saying, you set up traps. You have a lot of setups. Just kind of like how ICs have setups. You have setups too, where your boomerang's gonna come back, or they're gonna do something, or you have a bomb in your hand. Because you also can just jump cancel throw bombs, willy nilly. But you can also Zaire drop bombs. You have a lot of little tricks here and there. They're not that important, but they do allow you to kind of have little gimmicks, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's part of the Link gameplay that should be on your mind.
all right. So the main reason that I did send this video, there was an edgeguard sequence, and it was really sick, but I'm gonna go on the record and say the edgeguard was actually an accident.
Did we miss it already?
No, it's I think it's in set 2.
Okay.
I had the timestamps here somewhere, but I'm pretty sure I lost it by now.
If you find
regardless,
it, let me know.
though,
Yeah.
Will do, yeah. The double down smash.
Was that double down smash to double up
Yeah,
smash?
you usually never get that unless they DI poorly or they're like
Yeah.
right on top of you, like there's like sandwich on top of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember the timestamp here. I know it's pretty late in the set, and I don't want to sit
Okay.
through the entire thing.
No
Oh,
problem.
that was like if you want to talking about that one, that was actually like the luckiest edge guard I've ever seen.
Well, let's go back to that then.
He gets this because he Fox DIs poorly. He gets this because of percentage, and then if Fox would have just refreshed, he would have been dead for no reason, and then that would have been really funny. But he actually just completely like drops it. There's no other words for that really.
Yeah.
Fox
So-
does a lot on lane, but if you just play him kind of poorly sometimes, it just it gives you either shenanigans or it just gives you free kills basically.
Oh yeah, definitely. And with, like you said, both of these characters kind of destroy each other. If either of you guys are playing your neutral a little bit sloppy, it's gonna be downhill really fast.
It's rough. One, especially off stage 2, one person gets a shine, the other person gets the up B spike. It's you're not coming back from that, except if he does that.
Except right there.
I'm offended that up B spike missed.
He can angle it so that he goes right under it. That's why you have to be a little bit farther off from the ledge. So if you do want to up B spike someone with Link, you do have to make sure that you're kind of spaced maybe like I want to say like 2 character lengths away from the ledge, and then you'll assure your safety. But they do have the option to go up, completely straight up sometimes. If you do
So
want
they avoid your hitbox, right?
Yeah. He's pretty dead. Shine is still really strong in this game. I'm not sure if this is even appropriate to talk about, but Fox's Shine is just...
It's still really freaking good, yeah.
Yeah, it still beats up Link pretty hard. The only difference is all you have to do is just do it maybe once or twice more while refreshing your invincibility, and you can kill Link. He can recover, early percents, but if you just get it a few more times, it's easy to set up.
Man, wish I had the timestamp. I'm working on a few projects with Link, applications of different moves.
Yeah, definitely.
We saw a hint in Camilo's set with Hyperflame. You notice the nair. I think the term is platform cancel, where he dropped down, he threw out a nair, and what the hell is this? Okay, and he he threw out the nair quick enough that his character model was still on the platform. So he naired and then he landed still on the platform.
I want to say people are trying to think of it, or someone has come up with a better name for it because platform canceling's already a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's definitely, it's only in PM and it's pretty unique.
Well, you could actually platform cancel in Melee as well.
Yeah.
It's the same concept. 'Cause I think what you're trying to refer to is the ledge canceling. You can ledge cancel moves, but platform canceling also happens with, I want to say, very few of Sheik moves. Link's moves, Luigi's Nair can happen a lot.
Yeah, no, that's definitely what I was referring to.
Right.
Where you kind of warp back through the platform.
I know off the top of my head, Link and Luigi are tied for the most amount of platform cancel. Cancel
was
moves.
that the edge guard you were talking about?
No, I flubbed that edge
That
guard.
great, honestly.
No, I
Yeah.
know it wasn't, but I was just curious because he kind of flew the wrong way.
Hang on.
You're
Oh
reversed.
boy.
Tell you what, we'll just skip to the last part of each stock and find out.
Yeah, that sounds good. More on the platform cancel stuff though. I do have a Jiffy Cat here, or Giffy Cat. I don't know how the hell you people pronounce it. And I'm pretty sure it's the only recorded instance of me intentionally trying to platform cancel and succeeding with it. And I'm trying to see if I can find it in my gallery so I can kind of expand on it, some of its possible uses.
It's kind of like if you do it, it's kind of like pseudo shield pressure. If they do have a really fast out of shield move, then you might lose to it. But for the most part, it's just really good because you get the strongest hit of Nair out. You hit them with it, and then you can just keep on doing it because there's no sort of heavy lag to it. Nair has a really nice I guess it has really nice frame data when you all cancel it.
Do you think
Um,
that the platform canceling is one of the biggest like tech improvements that we're going to see with Link coming up?
I hope so. I'll definitely be working on it myself.
I honestly don't think so, just because it's so situational. Besides, you do have to follow the flowchart, so you will only kind of get the platform canceling nair pressure right when they're just sitting right in front of you with their shield on. You're not going to get too many people who are going to, instead of try to hit you on a platform, they're just going to jump on and then just try to shield at you. Like, it doesn't really do anything for them.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do find that moment where it's kind of like, I think you have to like, you tomahawk them, so you jump on the platform with them, they shield because they're scared, and then you can platform shield pressure. That's probably the only situation that you'll find, but even then, they're going to realize what's up if you don't immediately grab them or do something, and then they're just in a shield drop, and there goes your setup.
Okay.
I object, and I have the Jiffy Cat for one.
I said it was a situation. It might work once, but you're not going to find it too much in sets where you can practice it and just use it repeatedly.
Right here. Should I post the Jiffy Cat in the Rabbit chat or?
Post it to the Facebook chat.
Right, let me.
Also, while that's pulling up, we have a question from Hitbox Chat, or not Hitbox, Smashcast.
Smashcast.
From Your Face. He was asking about the fact that he sees a lot of links going for jab 1, jab 2 to down smash. Why does that just link in a lot of characters? Or, but then also he was asking, and why do you guys mainly use down smash as opposed to like F smash?
Jabs don't link into forward smash,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure. So you use down smash because it is his fastest smash move available. It does good damage, and it just nets you a tech chase, which is really, really nice, and Link really thrives on getting really easy tech chases. He has a long tether grab. It was longer, but PM devs make mistakes.
Yeah.
And,
Damn it, that hurts, man.
We know what you're talking about.
So he just gets a lot out of down smash. Once you kind of set it up, you can either also get a see that was
this is the edge guard. This is the edge guard. The total accidental edge guard.
All right, we're going to look at this again, and then I can actually pull up that Giphy Cat, and then we can go to the next set.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, down smash just nets you tech chases. It sets up for jab resets at times. It gives you the grab if you tech chase correctly, which gives you a lot.
Well, here we go.
See, he sends him at an odd angle just because of the last hit. It's not the last hit, actually. It's like the hit right before the last hit kind of semi spikes him and sends him all the way down. And I think that's probably the only hit that will do that. So he goes all the way down, he tries to go up again. He techs, but he kind of techs a little close to stage, and and he also goes in the same direction. But the whole sequence was really, really good, though. It covers a lot, and if he would have gone high, that was probably the only thing that the last up he wouldn't have covered.
So regarding the jab confirms, jab doesn't true combo into anything, unless they're not holding down, right? So I use jab as a check to see, hey, are you holding down right now?
Mm-hmm.
If they're not, then I get a sick punish, because then I can sometimes link it to a grab, usually down smash, because like Cam said, it's the fastest smash Link has, and it's pretty good because it sets up with the tech chases or potential juggles on depending on the percent. And Link has a lot of that kind of stuff where he just checks to see if you're awake. I know what I like to do is I'll grab someone and I'll forward throw them, and then I run up, I grab, and I forward throw again, and I just do that for as long as I can just to see, are you paying attention?
How they react to it, yeah.
Like it's not true at all. It's the fakest thing, but it looks so dumb.
All right.
I agree. It's very important to check, and as Kevin's saying, it's a check move. Mm-hmm. It's kind of how I use my nairs, as I was explaining in the Hyperflame set. Mm-hmm. But you gotta also get something out of the checks. So I'm not sure if I would ever forward throw and then forward throw again.
No,
you don't get anything out of it.
And then forward throw again. But
it looks so dumb.
But if you check and then the next time you realize they're gonna do crouch cancel, then you get free smashes, or you get a spacing into an aerial. You get a lot of things out of his check moves. Um,
All
so
right.
you should probably shouldn't forward throw that.
No,
But
it's not good.
definitely checking though. Checking is really good.
Yep. All right. I'm
That's
going
kind of
to
what
show. I have this put on half speed, and this is the GIF that you were talking about with including the platform canceling. So if you want to lay that out, it's also just like a sick combo, so that's cool.
Alright, so you gonna do that or
It's on half
what?
speed. Oh, you can't see because
Yeah,
it's not in Rabbit. The stream can see
not
though.
on rep.
Damn. Okay,
Well,
so the
we're
stream
just
can see though. Is that good?
yeah, the stream can see it.
Alright. Here, Cam, check out the GIF on the Facebook chat. It's right there. I'll kind of go through it. I'm playing it at full speed.
Quick.
Let me know when it's
Give me
up.
a second, and then we'll say 3, 2, 1, and then we'll all press play. Okay.
Perfect. If only
Yeah.
Rabbit let you do GIFs.
Right.
I have it paused at the moment, so whenever you guys
All
are
right,
ready.
I have it paused at the very beginning.
Right. 3, 2, 1. Begin. All right. So punish initiated by Falcon. You get out with an up air. I keep him on the platform with back airs. There's a platform cancel up air. You can use it to extend combos that you wouldn't otherwise be able to. That's just one application. Another one that I've been theory crafting that I don't have any gifs of yet because it's really hard to do is so conventionally Link struggles with shield pressure, right? He's tied with Ivysaur for the slowest out of shield option of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I want to do is I want to be able to shield drop consistently, and out of that shield drop I want to be able to platform cancel up air. Because 1 second you're getting pressured, and just like that, you pop them up into the air, and now you can move because up air doesn't have a lot of landing leg when you L cancel it. But again, that requires me to consistently shield drop, and it's a meme in my community, but it's also true that I have no tech skill. So there's something to look out for, Cam. Right? Platform canceling is not.
So, with regards to that, I don't think it's going to be too useful. You'd have to be right on top of the person in order to hit the hard hit of up air, which would keep them in shield stun long enough for you to be, I don't know, in an advantageous position.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, if you hit them with the weak hit of up air while you're trying to do the shield drop up airs, I don't think it's going to net you anything at all.
It depends on the
hit
percent,
it,
doesn't it?
what?
It depends on the percent. If they're at like 30 to 50.
Oh no, what I'm saying is like if they shield it, then like it's not like actual pressure. But
Right.
if you do nair shield drop platform cancels, then that's actual pressure because you can keep on doing it. Whereas the weak hit of up air, it'll just let them shield drop.
Well, my argument isn't that platform cancel up airs are good for applying pressure. It's that if you're stuck in shield on a platform because there's a space animal pressuring your ass, you can shield drop platform cancel up air, and now their pressure is turning to your combo.
But if they're pressuring you and they're applying perfect pressure, you're never going to get that shield drop up air out.
Oh, right, but how many spaces apply perfect pressure?
A lot.
I think
honestly isn't hard.
I think
It
it's
honestly isn't
interesting
hard
though.
to, let's say Fox, it's not hard to shine there, and Link just can't do anything out of that, really.
Besides roll, I know, but that's
Yeah.
garbage on a platform.
I think it's interesting though. It seems like you guys have like diametrically opposed views on how to play Link, and that actually makes it really interesting for something like this, so that you both have the different viewpoints on Hero of Time saying like you got to get the flow chart, and once you like perfect, like if he does these, this is my different options, and then Blue saying like I'm going to forward throw him 3 times and see how he starts reacting to that later. Next game that I have up is Hero of Time versus M2K. We're just going to watch the first game, actually,
Right.
Yeah.
of this one, which is another Fox. And one of the best Foxes in the world, so definitely something we can learn from here.
Now, I want to say about my tournament experience at Nationals is that so a funny story is that at my first National, which was Aftershock, I lost my first game in pools immediately to a Roy, a Meta Knight player. It was someone who's like PR or something like that.
Okay.
And that is because I kind of have a lot of anxiety playing tournament sets. More so when I play on stage than anything else. And that's what I realized. But when I played that first game, it felt like the pressure was on, and I just couldn't cope. So I had to talk to a lot of people that were interested in seeing me succeed. and all my supporters, from back home, plus the people that were housing me and this and that. And they gave me a lot of encouragement. And after that, I just realized that if I didn't care about losing, I was going to play how I play normally. And that let me get 5th at the tournament overall. So I usually don't have a good time sometimes playing tournament sets just because of my anxiety over playing sometimes. It's really silly sometimes, but it does happen.
Tournament anxiety is a real thing.
Yeah, that's not Link main exclusive. Everyone gets it. Believe me.
No, I get a lot of it at times. So that's why I really hate playing like really, really serious sets. If it means a lot to me, I'll probably do worse than if I just wanted to play for fun. So I'm probably like, I'm honestly like the friendlies champ, but if I play a tournament, I'll probably do worse than I play in friendlies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're following on that, how did you feel in this set? Because I feel like this was one of the first ones where a lot of people started noticing.
In this set, I felt like I did somewhat poorly, but I started playing more on par later on, just because early during the game, you saw that I went for a lot of up Bs, and I just went for a lot of grabs. The reason you go for that is because grab and up B nets you a lot versus fast followers. And I was just thinking, protect yourself, be safe, protect yourself, and do really bad and obvious options, just like that.
Yeah.
So, it didn't work out too well, but once I stopped doing up B and grabs, you'll see that I get a lot more out of that.
It's the panic syndrome.
Huh?
It's the panic syndrome. Everyone, if you're not feeling comfortable, everyone tries to go for, like, if I happen to hit this is the fastest way for me to take a stock.
Exactly.
Up B semi spike. That's the Link life. Every scrub Link does it. Even I do when in high pressure situations, because you're like, just die. Give me the W.
Like, if I happen to hit this, it'll be great. Oh, well, no, he read that one again.
Exactly. Yeah. But luckily, like, for me, a lot of I'm not sure if I explained the way I taught myself how to play. I took a lot of notes and I just flowcharted everything, and that's why when I did anything out of shield, I never lost that, even when I get nervous, and I think that's one of my strengths.
Definitely.
Because I'm very, very reactive to things, especially out of shield, or people coming in or doing anything. I'm really good at tech chasing as well because of that.
Now, is that your own out of shield options, or like recognizing your opponents, or I guess both?
Both.
Nice. Yeah, no,
it was a really close set, and I feel like he kind of did worse than he could have played as well. I'm not sure why he was having a bad day, but it shows you how to play this matchup. See, right there when he went for the nair, it was a bad nair. I recognized it, and I got the up B. And you'll see that the last interaction that nets me the win is a funny out of shield option as well. I missed the tech chase because I was nervous as well. I just jumped instead of that one.
Would not be? Yeah.
That one was an immediate up B that trades with shine, just because I get it on the last possible frame that I can hit him with it. But it wasn't a perfect nair on shield, so that's why I was able to get it. And another up B out of shield that was really quick.
Yep.
Bad angle.
But up B punishes really hard, so that's why if you do realize that someone's just not being safe on shield, it's so easy to just flick. You just it's such a rewarding motion when you realize that you've done it, because you go like that and then you just win.
It's true.
I feel like every character has that one option that's just like, if I hit this, I'm super happy now. And often it's the one option that everyone then overuses when they feel like they're in a panic situation.
Right.
All right, the next one is going to be blue versus... This is a matchup Arizona has seen quite often. Blue
yeah,
versus
dude.
I Love Bagels, who I'm sure will also be on the show at some point.
Hopefully. So this match is special in that this didn't occur in Arizona. It was at a regional, and as you can see, it's in losers. The winner advances to top 8. Loser gets 9th. So it's like, it's still the same matchup, but there's a new stress added, and it really...
It's a bigger stage.
Made us play,
it's more
it made us play differently, special, if you will. I know he got some stuff I've never seen before. I got some stuff on him that I've never done before, and it just goes to show, right, the kind of innovation that you pull out when you're in a high stress situation.
Yeah, definitely point those out for me.
Will do. So if you're getting juggled, right, and you have a double jump, one way that I like to escape it is I'll pull a bomb. I mean, I'll double jump, pull a bomb, and then they're gonna be underneath me trying to juggle. So what I do is, that was new. That was new.
That was one of your new innovations, yeah.
Yep. So for the longest time, I would get free ass downers on him when he was recovering with a down B, but he drifted with this one, and he had done that on me before. So I was like, oh crap, that's a stock.
Yep. And that's what do people say when you're playing against Luigi for the first time? Everyone goes like, watch the recovery. It's perfectly vertical, and he kind of proved that it wasn't.
It's not. Back on the juggling though, juggling Link is really hard because number one, you have a downer that is 20% unstable or something, right? So it's like if your juggle's not on point, it's gonna hurt a lot. Furthermore, he's got multiple jumps, quote unquote jumps, in the form of his bomb AGTs. And at the same time, he's throwing out a hitbox when he AGTs the bomb. So if you noticed earlier in the set, he was trying to juggle me, and I threw a bomb down, and I threw out a preemptive up air, and suddenly we reversed. So now I was juggling him.
Actually, can you quick run over that? I'm sure we've covered it in other episodes of the show, but for anybody who this might be the first time they're watching on YouTube, what is AGT and why is it so important?
So AGT stands for Aero Glide Toss, and it's when you cancel an air dodge with an item toss. It's important because you still maintain the movement of the air dodge, not the invincibility frames, that'd be broken. But but it's really good because it nets you mid-air movement, and it also puts out a hitbox. In the case of Link, a good hitbox, and you can combo off of. And that's me reacting poorly to a misfire.
Yeah, on top of that, for the AGT, it also just completely and quickly changes your positioning. So if you do have a bomb, people are going to try to attack you. You just quick shift in the air, and it throws off a lot of punishes, and it's just something that a lot of characters can't really do. Not with their own items, of course, just because a lot of characters don't have their own items. So it's a neat trick for Link to do, just because after that, if they do commit to something, he does have options to either punish them or straight out kill them if he switches direction and then just impales them or does anything else. He does get a lot after that.
Now, was that a spike or a meteor?
So Link's down tilt, the hilt is a meteor.
Okay.
But it's a surprisingly strong meteor, so most people don't get the meteor cancel.
Well, I'm learning something new. I thought it was a spike. If it's a meteor, then
if someone...
I'm like 90% sure it's a meteor.
Oh no.
See, like because I just taught myself and I just wrote notes and just kind of flowcharted things for myself. I never learned any frame data, nor did I learn any sort of specific nuances. So if that's a meteor or a spike, I actually wouldn't know at all.
Okay.
My understanding is the rule of thumb is a meteor sends you straight down and a spike sends you downwards at an angle.
That was a phenomenal tech. Holy crap.
I still died, but yeah.
You still died, but that was sick. I'm going to go back. You also sent yourself off stage for absolutely no reason, but we'll ignore that part.
It happens, man.
It was also like a really good drift, too, because he was under the stage, and then he goes outside a little bit, and then back in, because he like actually lands on stage with it, but he just gets hit again.
Yeah, I've noticed Link has a surprisingly good aerial drift, and you can throw people off. You move forward a little bit, you throw out an air, and you move back.
Because you don't think about Link as being a character with like good air mobility,
right?
No, yeah, that's very true. But that's why it's important how you space your aerials. It's because even a slight change in direction of your aerial movement can differ between you getting punished or you being completely safe, or kind of like a fake safety, if you want to say that. That was another good tech though. But it's fake safety in the sense that you're putting pressure on the person, but they think it's safe, and it's really not.
And that was a missed input. Supposed to be in there, then I fared, and then I died. Oh well.
As is life. It happens.
Yeah,
Funny
I'm
enough,
not
though,
upset. It's game 2.
What would
funny
you say?
enough, this is a strong and very popular South Florida matchup too, just because of our top player, Blayagello. He is Luigi main as well. The only thing is that he actually doesn't know any sort of specific PM tech.
Mhm.
So if you see, I Love Bagels does a side B into the ledge grab refresh just in order to reset.
Yep.
His
He's farming those
Bs
side
to
Bs.
get the charge. Yeah, Blaya actually doesn't know any of those things. He doesn't know how to drift off the platform and do it for aerials. He's just a really, really good melee player.
Mhm.
And that's why he's been in a ton of grand finals with me. He's started out beating me savagely and had really strong record against me. And so I started just improving thanks to him and thanks to another player, which taught me the Spacey matchup, which is pork chops.
Yep. Mhm.
So we saw a lot of this in grand finals. It was either Luigi or Spacey's.
I'd like to address what just happened there.
Yeah.
Luigi
You
up
want me to go
smash my
back?
shield. Not really. It's a very tiny interaction. I could just explain it with words. But
Okay. Right.
Luigi Bagel's ledge dashes. He up smashes. I read the up smash, and that jump was supposed to be an up B. That plays into my inability, if you will, to efficiently and correctly act out of shield with moves in the way that Camilo seems to just do so easily. It makes me mad because I don't know why. Like, I practice this at home. I lab it out. I can't get it. So I'm gonna sit down with you at Bigger Belt.
If it makes you any more mad, I never practice it. It just came.
I
to
hate
me.
you.
The only thing I actually did practice with Link, by myself, was ledge movement, and that's why I feel it's so tight and so nice to just go for hack stashes or go for really long wavelands or fairs or zairs or whatever you really want. I can just refresh over and over again, and it just feels really nice.
I was gonna bring up something. Lost a train of thought. Damn.
No worries. If you think about it, bring it back.
Will do. Oh, here it is. Cam, what do you think of bomb thrusting?
Bomb thrusting is a technique that Link uses to stab the bomb by throwing it down under him, fast falling into it, and then daring it. That's my understanding of it.
Yeah.
And it blows you up. You can DI it at larger percents in order to tech the stage, kind of how Snake blows himself up to tech the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Because Snake and Link both have really good recoveries with the up B and with the tether, it provides you a lot of options to just survive at ridiculous percents. If you start bomb thrusting on Dreamland, for example, you will survive to those high 200s, I want to say. Maybe, depending on what you get hit by, of course. But it's one of those things where I've commented and said that it's another thing that's a little ridiculous. I'm just not too much of a fan, just because I know that Link has so many options to recover that he just doesn't need another one that nets him a 200% survivability.
Wait, what do you mean 200? Oh, are you saying
Or
the percent that he's back at?
He gets hit, and he actually has no jump, and he can still bomb thrust and just survive.
So you know Snake's recovery, right? Where he it's basically that, but for Link with a little more difficulty. But
what I meant is I didn't know when you were saying 200% if you meant like he's gaining percent or that you can just always get back.
You can get back at a quite ridiculous percents without having your jump at times, or just I guess it just in certain situations where you just really should die. If you just use the technique early enough, you will survive, and you will survive in an actually pretty okay place, where you can either recover or be on top of the person, or just mix up your recovery because of Link's recovery tools.
Yeah, definitely.
Fast falling, you can either up B early in order to hit people with your recovery, of course, but fast falling your recovery for sweet spots is a very good tool for Link, and it lets you mix up your recovery. So that's why I feel like he doesn't need another one, and I just don't. If I were to have a say in how Link should be designed, the two things I would actually remove are the bomb thrusting and the chain grabs. And removing the chain grab wouldn't actually nerf the grab. There are certain ways to do it where
Now,
people.
you said that you don't use the chain grab much because of that. Do you
Mm-hmm.
still use bomb thrusting?
I don't really use bomb thrusting either.
And
I
that is
try
something you
to
do?
do it the old way, just how he did it right now,
Mhm.
where you kind of toss the bomb up and you up B into it.
Yep.
There is certain situations or factors that have to come in play in order for that to work. So there is a good chance that it just doesn't work and you just die. And
The
I
up
think
B stale
that,
at all.
What are the up B or the bomb?
The up B bombs can. I don't think bombs can go stale, but even if they can, it's not relevant to the whether or not you can get the bomb throw up B recovery.
Okay.
It's all into whether or not the up B is stale.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And while we're on the topic, I'd like to give shout outs to my boy Finger Stripes, the inventor of the bomb thrust.
He invented that?
He was the first one to popularize it, at least. He got a tutorial video up before anyone else.
Interesting.
I think he was the first one to popularize it for sure. But if you even go back to 3.02, I realized that you could do that, but I didn't do it frequently just because I thought the throwing up and then up B, it was just a lot more useful. Back then, it just worked a lot more.
Because the staling factor wasn't nearly as big at that point.
I think that was one of the reasons. Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Mm-hmm. And right here, like what you're saying, Bagels is getting those farming misfires.
Yep. If he kills you, then he'll go to ledge and he'll perfect ledge dash and then up B back to the ledge, just to get the bullets in the revolver, if you will.
Oh, and that's any of the top Luigis. That's XYK. That's Bagels. That's Zubat. Yep. I'm
Right. So.
clean this up. Yep.
Yep. So basically even, and I get this sick punish. It was I've theory crafted about it before, but I haven't applied it. But
Is
desperate times.
The last
right.
one we saw or this upcoming?
No, it should be coming up right here.
Perfect.
So right here, he was trying to crowd cancel my stuff, and Link's, the hilt is a meteor, so that's
pop
not
you up.
true. Yeah, and even if it doesn't pop you up, then it puts you into that like the animation where you can't act on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 down tilt isn't real by any means, but I haven't done it before on him, so I don't think he was expecting it. There's a certain timing. So when you crouch cancel the non-meter hitbox, and he was adjusting for that and not for the actual meter hitbox. So that's why I got the freest 40% a man could ask for.
And
there's the up B. Yep.
All right.
I wanted to point out that another last trick that Link does have that I don't think is broken, but it is hard to do, and a lot of the tethered characters can probably do that, is if you... now, I want to put it correctly. I think if you do Arms Attack, a move at really high percents, and then once you slide off, you immediately hit your tether, you both just pop right back in, and you can survive to ridiculous percents.
Yep. Now
It's similar to bucket breaking, but you need to be within a certain distance of the stage, and you can't just spam B to get it.
Yep. Pikachu also has a momentum cancel. I think it might only be in melee. I don't actually know if it's in both. Where if he slides off, he can use his
The side B?
his up B actually.
Oh.
Yep. I saw Axe post a GIF about it last week. I think we have time for one more set. Cure of Time. Do you want to see yours versus? I guess versus Axe, as I just said, or versus Lunchables?
I think we could do Lunchables since he's just more of a prominent member of the Project M community. So.
Now, I think this is the first set that we're going to have on this entire show, and we've done several episodes now where the person who sent it in lost. So, congratulations. But it's a phenomenal showing of both characters, and I think can teach a lot about what's going on.
I think a lot of people give me props for this, and it's the fact that I actually, in my region, besides the top 2 other players, which were Blaya Jello and Pork Chops, I didn't really have too much high-level PM character experience. I never really got that. So what I did is, because I learned with my flowcharts and with my just how I taught myself the game with my notes and all those things,
Mhm.
I did do good against players that in which I didn't really understand their character. So this is kind of a showing of that. Where I never played. At this point, I've played enough Toon Links, but not unlike the monster that is Lunchables.
And Lunchables is a monster. Yeah.
He's definitely. We played a spacing war, and I kind of respected that. But at some point, I think we both started getting bored, and we started going out after each other.
Hmm.
But Toon Link is just a lot faster than Link, so he got away with a lot more than I could.
Yeah, I've played against Lunchables before and Bracken before. Hard 3L. And the way my understanding is Toon Link does just about everything Link does, but a little faster. And it's that speed that makes a big difference in the matchup.
Because I just couldn't. I had trouble reaching him, and the biggest tools that I wanted to use were my fair and my nair, and he could just either run away, outspace it, or just set up a bomb trap. So it was just very, very hard to just kind of get close to him.
Now, what is it, and maybe it's part of the matchup, maybe it's just Lunchables himself, what is it that he does so well to mitigate what Link is trying to get for?
I think it's the fact that he sets up a lot of bombs that kind of slow down the gameplay.
Mhm.
It makes you make a lot more mistakes. If you just get either frustrated, annoyed, or just tired of waiting, you will go in and you'll fall right for the trap. And that's where you can't go wrong. And if you want to get the W, you want to win, you have to wait. You have to play more patiently. And some people just aren't willing to do that. And I feel like sometimes I am one of those people.
I've noticed he's doing a good job of playing around the zones that you can immediately threaten. Like he recognizes where Link can put out a hitbox in a specific amount of time. There was an interaction here with the Fairs, I think it was, unless we moved forward. But he outspaced like 2 or 3 of your Fairs in a very short amount of time, perfectly. And you could say it's a Lunchables thing, you could say it's a Toon Link thing, because of his speed gives him the ability to do this. But he's doing a great job of playing around where you can threaten and forcing you to throw something out and then punishing you accordingly for it.
Whether it's Lunchables or whether it's Toon Link, it's still a phenomenal job either way.
I think for the most part, it's because of what you want to accomplish with a fair. Sometimes you don't actually want to go for the actual hit. You want to go for a shield hit, which forces something like a roll, something like a jump. You want to get anything out of that where you know they're going to do something.
So, so you almost use it in the same way as like what Falcos are going for with their lasers. It's not the hit itself; it's what you're getting after.
I would say it's more of a. That's a good way to explain it. I want to compare it to something else.
Yeah, if there's a better comparison, definitely.
It's more of like getting a. I think every character can do this, where they get a hard hit of something into a shield, and then they just want to wait. They just want to sit there and wait. And if you do that, for the most part, you will come out on top because you haven't really committed to anything, and you know where you are. You're at. You know where your spacing is, and if you know what the character's options are after that hit, you can kind of win if you see it come out. So if you see him roll, you can kind of chase after. If you see him jump, to either shield because he's going to go for an immediate hit, or to just hit him first.
If you clean that out, that's nope.
That would have been very, very important, and I could have, but it was a simple mistake. Because for the most part, you do want to go with dare. Once they tether and they pull up, you just get an easy dare, and you get insane amount of damage. If you know they're going to survive, the best thing you can do is do fair, just because they'll have to come down at some point. Whereas if you dare and they're going to survive, they're a little bit closer to you, and you're by the ledge. You don't want to be in that position. You want to be more center stage. So if you fair them, they'll go kind of like far off, kind of to the left side. So you'll be at a better position than if you dare them. At this point, I have realized his tricks, and I feel like I was holding on to my stock desperately because I knew I could win if I just didn't get hit. If I just played perfectly, I could win, and I was figuring him out. And there's a, I think if it's not this one, it's the next one where there's just an unfortunate sequence and I just lose. But I'm playing everything perfectly. I'm shielding correctly, trying to avoid attacks, and then I go to the ledge just because I know my ledge movement's good, even though I mess it up.
I mean, you got back, so it still worked apparently.
hmm
You
So
even-
I'm getting really, really close. After being down the whole game, I'm getting really, really close. I even forego going for the follow up after that hit on shield, just because I know it might not be safe. Here's where I mess up.
Oh yeah.
and Lunchables pops off.
I realized that I went off stage for a silly reason, and I got punished for it. And that was the one opening he needed because I could have actually faded completely out and just like gone with my recovery, and I think he would have died. If I would have just gone straight like right and then tried to recover right, and he would have just dared, kind of how I think we showed a set where Kevin did the same thing. He would have just fallen straight down, and he might not have been able to recover. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe he could have pulled a bomb. He had his double jump. But maybe I could have avoided it somehow. But regardless, he did get that punish, and that was really important. He did get it at 200, so props to me for surviving, I think.
Right.
And every once in a while, you just survive to a ridiculous range. I was in the game 2 days ago. I forget how long ago that was. It was just friendlies, but I survived to 280 at one point, and I'm still not exactly sure how I pulled it off.
What character?
I was playing Falco.
Huh.
I just teched literally everything, and he just couldn't send me off stage at some point.
See, that's why I do have that thought that Link does have a lot of recovery options, and he does have a certain weight where it allows him to survive to really, really good percents. Along with the AGT, the tether, and the up B, there's really no reason why he needs another way to survive in regards to bomb thrusting and other little techniques here and there.
Hey man, it's fine. You take what you can get.
That along with the chain grabbing, I don't think that's necessary at all. Just because in these videos you're seeing that we usually do really good in damage. We get combos, we get solid hits, and this is all without chain grabbing.
Right.
So it's not something that Link needs, and if it is exploited, it just feels like it breaks the game, and it just makes it a little bit more boring. It's kind of like watching two Jigglypuffs play. If one gets the it just makes it really, really stale, I think. Or a better comparison would be just watching Snake play.
I mean, I agree. It is kind of boring, but ultimately we play to win, don't we? So, definitely something to keep in mind.
Now,
Like,
oh, sorry,
What's up?
I was just going to say, now question, I guess, since it's readily apparent on the screen, especially for those who are new to Smash in general, like when people are like, well, there's Fox and Falco, and now Wolf and PM, aren't they all just like the same type of character? There's, Marth and Roy. What are the biggest differences between Link and Toon Link, as we're watching them both right now?
I'll let you go first, Cam.
I think Link gets more solid meteor hits, but Toon Link can just find them so much easier.
Okay.
His speed, along with his bomb play, because Link's boomerang just sets up for a lot. With bomb, it's very hard for Link to get a bomb hit and convert really, really hard.
But Toon Link's is a multi-hit, so it's all
Exactly.
it does. Yep.
So I think people have to make serious mistakes in order to get comboed from a bomb. Whereas Link's combo move is basically the boomerang, but it doesn't net him a full combo. At least it really shouldn't, unless you DI it correctly. It should really net him one hit. But regardless, it's a really solid hit. So if he does get that hit and he gets a tech chase or something like that, then that's when it combos. But other than that, this kind of exemplifies how if I would have grabbed him, if we can talk about chain grab percents, if I would have grabbed him at I think 60 or 70, right? I could have just outright killed him.
But you did. He did die from it.
Yeah. So Toon Link he's because he has better speed, better item play, and just better movement overall. It's just so much more crisp. He can outplay people easier. You can still outplay him for sure, and that's why I wouldn't say that, hey, the matchup's bad, so that's why I can't win. I would just say it's going to be a little harder, but you have to know his options, and then once you realize what he's doing, then you can possibly win.
All right. Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's similar to the differences between, say, like Ganon and Falcon. That Ganon's going to hit you heavier, going to hit you meteor, but he's not going to be able to get there as fast.
Yeah.
Speed is
And
everything in
then
Smash, dude.
the projectile game is clearly different, but well, we are here. We're going to start wrapping it up. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I had a great time talking to you two. Again, we've got Blue and Hero of Time here. Blue you can find at SSB Blue on Twitter. He doesn't tweet all that often, so that's up to you if you want to go for it or not.
I was at school, man. I was in school. Give me a break.
He's got a summer Twitter. It's all good. I'm sure people, like you said, Blue, you're going to be able to find in Arizona, Hero of Time, South Florida. Any last, let's do two different things. Shout-outs. Who do you guys want to give a shout-out to quick?
Oh, man. I'd like to give a shout-out to Nate Senpai, competitor turned TO in my local community. When Z-Man disappeared, Nate Senpai was there to take up the mantle for our Phoenix Weeklies. I don't think he gets enough appreciation for that, so hey man, thanks for what you do. Keep it up. That about covers it for me.
Okay, Nate Senpai.
I think if I want to think of my timeline in the Smash community, I definitely want to give a shout out to Blea, to Pork Chops, and to Umbreon for housing me for my first tournament, and he's been a really good friend.
Awesome.
And definitely to the balcony. The balcony are the people there are just the best smashers. Not because of how they play, even though they're really good. I think it's just because of the people they are and what they do for the community. So shout outs to Big Bug for sure.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people have said that out of the different Smash scenes, that PM seems to have the most like homies per person, and I think Belk counts for a lot of those. So yeah, that's shout outs. What is, let's finish it up with this. If you could tell somebody one more thing, and I guess Smash related or not, what is it?
You want to go first on this one?
I'd like to try. So in my local community, I get a lot of questions about mentality, especially, right?
Okay.
Like, I get tilted so easily. What the hell do I do? And it's a hard question to answer, but I think it's an important one to address at the same time too. And there's no one size fits all answer, unfortunately. But typically, the advice I give for the question of, hey, I keep losing, what can I do? Is, okay, look at your sets, study the sets, right? That's how I got better. You know, study, take notes. Don't just watch them, right? It's very easy to watch and say, oh, I got messed up for that. I'll try not to do that. But like, pull out a pen and paper, write down some stuff. Like, okay, I was at this %, I was on this stage against this character, and these moves did this. You know, it's gonna seem like a chore sometimes, but you know, you got to put in the grind if you want to get better. You know.
Definitely.
That's what I'll leave it with.
As for me, I would tell everyone watching and everyone who watches in the future to definitely take care of their hands and take breaks, and so play for around 15 to 30 minutes. Take a few breaks here and there. Talk to people in order to get yourself associated with people you're going to be playing with for a long time. Just because they are your community members and they're the people that you're going to mostly see. So if taking breaks is a bother for you, still just try to hang out with people, but definitely take care of your hands. I unfortunately hurt my hands. I never took any breaks. I would just go hard on Smash in general, and I actually hurt my hand. I actually injured my hand. It's called a TFCC. You don't want to give yourself hand injuries because some of these injuries, they can actually just stop you from playing forever. So take care of your hands, take breaks. If you feel hand pain, you should go to the doctor, figure it out. So definitely do that. I would say that.
All right. Outside of Bigger Balk coming up, which you two are both going to, what are the next big tournaments that people can check you out at? Say hi.
This weekend, Arizona's going to have a regional Run Back 2017. The PM lineup is pretty stacked. We got Homemade Waffles and Plup. We got Bagels and myself. We got Bladewise. just to name a few people. I'd also check out the Melee stream on Twitch. I don't know the channel, unfortunately, but definitely a big Arizona regional coming up this weekend. So check that out.
Sick.
As for me, I think Bigger Balk might be the last PM national I might attend for quite a while. I haven't been traveling a lot recently, so that's why most people kind of put me away, so to speak. I haven't had too many appearances, but Bigger Balk, and then I might go to some PM or Melee nationals nearby me. But other than that, I probably won't travel too much. But if you're in Florida, I am a big part of the scene. I have TO things here and there. So I know most of my community, so if you want to stop by, I will help you with housing. I will help you with anything else that you need. So you can just hit me up on Facebook or on the South Florida Melee, South Florida Project M channels.
That's awesome. Yeah, again, I'm Wisely. I unfortunately can't make Bigger Balk. I'm really upset about that.
No.
I really wanted to be there. It just did not work out this year. I'll be at even Bigger Balk or whatever the heck they call it next year. I told myself I wasn't going to miss it again. So after that, the next big thing you'll be able to see me at is probably end of June. I'm going to be at Smashadelphia. And so that's going to be on the PM circuit as well. $1,000 pot bonus for PM. We've already got it has all the Smash games, PM, Melee, Wii U, Brawl, 64. It's at a giant gaming convention, but for PM specifically, we have Thunders, Sosa, ESAM is actually coming back out for it, M2K is coming out for it, so like, there's like a weird mix of names, and I think it's going to be super cool as more people start showing up. So I'll be at that. Again, thank you guys so much, and with that, that was Why My Main Is Sick, Link. See you all in 2 weeks when I go over Ness, and we're going to be joined by Stereo Kid and Jose V. So
Cool.
There we go, and see you all later.
Later.
Take care.